plexes capable of producing widespread damaging winds and localized flash flooding. Temperatures ahead of the storms will reach the upper 80s and 90s. Regional weather forecast Southwest. The Southwest will remain hot with generally quiet weather across desert locations. Tonight, mostly clear skies are expected across Arizona, southern Nevada, and southeastern California. On Thursday, temperatures will soar well above normal, reaching 100 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit across lower desert valleys. Isolated afternoon thunderstorms may develop over higher terrain in Arizona and New Mexico, producing gusty outflow winds, lightning, and localized heavy rainfall.
Regional weather forecast, Rockies. The Rockies will experience a mix of sunshine and scattered mountain thunderstorms. Tonight, isolated storms will continue over Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana before gradually weakening. Thursday afternoon will bring renewed thunderstorm development, especially over central and southern Colorado. Some storms may produce hail, gusty winds, and locally heavy rainfall. Temperatures will remain above average across many mountain valleys and foothill communities. Regional weather forecast, Northwest. The Northwest is experiencing its first significant stretch of summer-like weather. Tonight, clear skies and mild temperatures will prevail across Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. On Thursday, strong high pressure will bring abundant sunshine and much warmer temperatures. Highs will reach the upper 80s and 90s in many inland locations, while portions of eastern Washington and Oregon could approach 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Dry conditions will increase wildfire concerns across some areas. Regional weather forecast, West Coast. The West Coast will generally remain dry and warm. Tonight, marine clouds and fog will continue along portions of California's coastline. Thursday will feature pleasant coastal temperatures and significantly warmer conditions inland. California's Central Valley may see highs in the upper 90s to lower 100s. Interior valleys of Oregon and Northern California will also experience summer-like heat under strong sunshine.
Regional weather forecast, Alaska. Across Alaska, a broad weather pattern will support mixed conditions. Tonight, scattered showers will affect parts of western and central Alaska, while southern coastal areas remain relatively quiet. Thursday brings cooler than normal conditions to portions of interior and western Alaska. Periods of rain will continue across some northern and western locations, while southeastern Alaska experiences milder temperatures and occasional sunshine.
Regional weather forecast, Hawaii. The Hawaiian Islands will continue to experience a typical trade wind pattern. Tonight, passing showers will affect windward slopes in coastal communities, while leeward areas remain mostly dry. On Thursday, moderate to locally breezy trade winds will persist. Sunshine will dominate most areas during the morning, followed by scattered clouds and brief showers across windward and mountain locations. Temperatures will remain seasonable, generally in the lower to middle 80s. That concludes our nationwide weather forecast for tonight and Thursday, June 11, 2026. Thank you for watching Hurricane and Storm Center. Stay weather aware, especially across the plains, Midwest, and the Great Lakes, where severe thunderstorms are expected. We'll see you again in our next weather update. Have a safe evening and a great day ahead.
Good evening and welcome to Hurricane and Storm Center. Thank you for joining us for the latest marine weather update. Over the next 24 hours, several U.S. coastal and offshore waters will continue to experience potentially hazardous weather conditions, including strong thunderstorms, dangerous wind gusts, rough seas, reduced visibility, and locally hazardous marine conditions. Areas of greatest concern include portions of the Great Lakes, the Gulf of Mexico, and sections of the Atlantic coastal waters, where active weather systems are expected to create rapidly changing conditions for mariners. In the next few minutes, we'll take a detailed look at the latest marine weather developments across U.S. waters for tonight and tomorrow, along with important safety recommendations for commercial shipping operators, fishermen, recreational boaters, and all vessels navigating these regions. A highly active weather pattern continues across several marine zones surrounding the United States. A highly active weather pattern continues across several marine zones surrounding the United States. During the overnight hours, strong thunderstorms developing across the Central Plains, Midwest, and Great Lakes will push eastward and may extend into portions of the western Great Lakes and adjacent nearshore waters. Mariners operating on Lake Superior, Michigan, Huron, Erie, and Ontario should remain alert for rapidly changing weather conditions, including dangerous cloud-to-water lightning, sudden wind gusts exceeding 40 knots, rough waves, and sharply reduced visibility in torrential rainfall. Along the Gulf Coast, abundant tropical moisture remains in place from the western Gulf of Mexico to the Florida Panhandle. Scattered to numerous thunderstorms are expected to continue through the night and into Thursday. Some storms may become strong enough to generate locally hazardous seas, waterspouts, intense lightning activity, and wind gusts above 30 knots. Small fishing vessels should exercise extreme caution when operating near thunderstorm clusters. Across the Atlantic coastal waters from Florida northward through the Carolinas and into the mid-Atlantic region, warm and humid conditions will support scattered overnight thunderstorms offshore. By Thursday afternoon and evening, thunderstorm coverage is expected to increase as daytime heating combines with a weak frontal boundary approaching from the west. Mariners should be prepared for sudden squalls capable of producing dangerous lightning, abrupt wind shifts, and short-period rough seas. The northeast coastal waters, including the Gulf of Maine and offshore areas south of New England, will experience increasing humidity and unstable conditions. While widespread hazardous marine weather is not expected during the morning hours, isolated strong thunderstorms may develop later Thursday, especially over nearshore waters. Any storm that developed could produce localized gale-force wind gusts and dangerous lightning. Across the Pacific Northwest, marine conditions will remain relatively stable under the influence of strong high pressure. However, increasing offshore gradients may generate locally gusty winds through the Strait of Juan de Fuca and portions of the coastal waters off Washington and Oregon. While thunderstorms are not expected, mariners should monitor changing sea conditions and increasing afternoon winds. Along the California coast, persistent northwesterly winds will continue to create choppy seas, particularly across the outer coastal waters and near major capes. Small craft advisory conditions may develop in some offshore zones. Areas of dense marine fog will remain possible during the late night and early morning hours, reducing visibility for commercial and recreational vessels. In the waters surrounding Alaska, unsettled weather continues across portions of the Bering Sea and western coastal waters. Periods of rain, low clouds, and reduced visibility are expected through Thursday. Mariners operating in western and northern Alaska waters should be prepared for rough conditions and occasional strong winds associated with passing low-pressure systems. Meanwhile, Hawaiian coastal waters remain under a typical trade wind regime. Moderate to locally strong easterly winds will continue through Thursday, producing choppy conditions across windward channels and waters. Brief passing showers will occasionally reduce visibility, but widespread hazardous marine weather is not expected. For fishermen, commercial shipping operators, and recreational boaters, the most significant hazards during the next 24 hours will be severe thunderstorms over the Great Lakes, Gulf Coast waters, and portions of the Atlantic coastal waters. Lightning remains one of the greatest threats to vessels at sea. Mariners should continuously monitor NOAA weather radio, marine forecasts, and local warnings. Always have multiple methods of receiving weather alerts, ensure all safety equipment is operational, and be prepared to seek safe harbor immediately if thunderstorms approach.
Good evening, everyone. Here is the latest nationwide weather update and forecast for tonight and Thursday, June 11th, 2026. Regional weather forecast Northeast. A strengthening ridge of high pressure offshore will continue pumping warm, humid air into the northeast. Tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms may develop across upstate New York, northern Pennsylvania, and northern New England. Some storms could produce gusty winds and brief heavy rainfall. On Thursday, temperatures will climb well above seasonal averages. Highs are expected to reach the upper 80s to middle 90s across much of the region, with heat indices approaching the upper 90s in urban corridors from Philadelphia to New York City and southern New England. Late-day thunderstorms are possible, especially across northern and western sections, as an approaching disturbance moves eastward. Severe weather cannot be ruled out. Regional weather forecast Southeast. The southeast remains under a hot and humid air mass. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms will continue across Florida, Georgia, Alabama, and the Carolinas, producing localized heavy rain and occasional lightning. Thursday will feature widespread temperatures in the upper 80s to mid-90s. Heat indices may exceed 100 degrees Fahrenheit in portions of Florida, southern Georgia, and coastal areas. Afternoon and evening thunderstorms will be numerous, especially near the Gulf Coast and Florida Peninsula, where tropical moisture remains abundant. Localized flash flooding is possible in urban and low-lying areas. Regional weather forecast Midwest. The Midwest will be one of the most active weather regions in the nation. Tonight, thunderstorms developing over Iowa, Missouri, and Minnesota will continue moving eastward. Some storms may become severe with damaging winds, large hail, and isolated tornadoes. On Thursday, a powerful storm system will interact with very warm and humid air. Numerous severe thunderstorms are expected from Missouri and Iowa into Illinois, Wisconsin, and Indiana. Damaging straight-line winds, large hail, torrential rainfall, and a few tornadoes are possible. Residents should closely monitor weather alerts. Regional weather forecast Great Lakes. The Great Lakes faces an increasing threat of severe weather. Tonight, storms may move across Wisconsin and western Michigan, producing strong wind gusts and heavy rainfall. On Thursday, conditions become favorable for organized severe thunderstorms around Lakes Michigan, Huron, and Erie. Strong winds will be the primary threat, although hail and isolated tornadoes are also possible. Temperatures will rise into the 80s and lower 90s ahead of the storms, creating a hot and unstable atmosphere.